Hello, my name is Olga. I'm a postdoctoral researcher from Russia. I just have completed my PhD, and now I'm working with Professor Hutton from the University of Southampton. And this is part of my postdoctoral research about indigenous people in Siberia, in some most remote villages about the Arctic Circle. We have chosen 3 villages with 3 different populations and want to go there and collecting data to make a further research and using some social environmental methodology to process this data. When I worked in Russia, I did some national plan of adaptation to climate change and have found out that many of Russian approaches to make these policies they are a little bit different with what United Nations suggest and what people use here in Europe. That's why I started my PhD and learn of these methods. And now we are working on creating a new policy on how to help local authorities and local science to find this knowledge gap in indigenous communities, because most of Russian approaches, they are from up to down. When local authorities, they created some plans on adaptation to climate change, and then nobody know about what real people needs, what the indigenous knowledge of these people. They have never been studied. That's why sometimes this policy is not really very suits to local indigenous communities. And what we want to know, we want to change the approach and do it from the down to up. When we first learn the local indigenous knowledges, people needs and their perception of the changes which happening in this area. And then we are going to create a new kind of policy which can be addressed to the local authorities, and then they can use it to produce probably some better measures to support these people. I came here because I have never did any expeditions yet, and it was very useful and interesting for me to learn actually about how you can prepare, what you need to prepare to do your field work, what you have to do in advance, what you have to do when you are in the field, and how you can collect your data, what equipment you need to prepare. It was all very interesting and useful for me, and it also was very interesting to talk to people who have already done some kind of this work, because they have some experience. And it was also very interesting to see that some people, they have learned indigenous communities, but in different countries, because I haven't found anybody who worked with Russian indigenous people here so far, but they have experience with other communities. It also was very interesting to probably in the future make some comparison. Probably I will have to take my notebook, of course, because these villages where we're going to go, they don't have any access to the internet, I'm afraid. And all kinds of notes we probably will have to do just using the paper and the pencil. And it's very important to know it in advance, because now we're all used to all these gadgets and devices, and most of the places in the world you can use it somehow. But I think when you go there, you have to be prepared to take some. Of course, we will have probably batteries and something like that, but still you have to be ready just to be abandoned with all this. Nigel Windsor, he suggested me to communicate with other polar researchers, and I hope to get some support in this direction, because we still have very few people who are involved in our project, and we need more advices and ideas. And I hope that I will have an opportunity to discuss our project with other researchers and professors. I would like to thank all organizers of this Explore weekend, because I have just completed my PhD and it's a little bit complicated for me to see what I have to do next. And it was very useful to get all this information and new contacts and some ideas. I'm sure that it's just probably the most important event which happened in the recent months with me. Thank you very much.